Have you ever felt that deep yearning for a simpler time? A time when healing wasn't complicated by endless lists of ingredients you can hardly pronounce, when the solutions to your daily struggles weren't locked behind pharmacy counters or hidden in expensive bottles with flashy labels. I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and imagine walking through an ancient marketplace. The scent of spices hanging in the air, colorful fabrics swaying in the gentle breeze, and mysterious oils gleaming in handcrafted vessels. Among these treasures was one particular oil, so valued that Egyptian queens would bathe in it, indigenous healers would apply it reverently to their patients, and mothers would carefully pass down its secrets to their daughters through whispered conversations as twilight fell. This wasn't just an oil. This was nature's gift, a golden elixir that civilizations across continents discovered independently, each developing their own sacred rituals around its use. But here's what might surprise you. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, this same ancient remedy might be sitting in your kitchen cabinet or on a dusty shelf in your bathroom? What if I said that something so simple, so accessible, could be the missing piece in your daily health routine? Something your great-grandmother might have used faithfully before we traded ancestral wisdom for the convenience of modern solutions. I can almost hear the skepticism in your thoughts. Sarah, you might be thinking, if something this powerful exists, why doesn't everyone know about it? Why isn't it being shouted from the rooftops? And that's a fair question. In our world of instant gratification and miracle products, we've been conditioned to believe that true healing must be complicated, expensive, or newly discovered in some cutting-edge laboratory. But what if the most powerful remedies have been hiding in plain sight all along? The truth is that we've been slowly disconnected from the wisdom that sustained our ancestors for thousands of years. We've forgotten how to listen to the quiet whispers of traditional knowledge that once flowed naturally from generation to generation. Instead, we've become accustomed to the loud, insistent shouts of marketing campaigns that promise quick fixes, but deliver empty results. Today, I want to reintroduce you to something that might change everything for you. A simple nightly ritual involving an ancient oil that could transform your relationship with your body. I'm talking about results you can actually feel. Skin that doesn't just look better but feels alive again. Hair that regains its youthful bounce and shine. Circulation that brings warmth back to your fingertips. Joints that move with greater ease. A strengthened immune system ready to defend you, and digestive harmony that creates a foundation for overall wellness. The best part. This isn't some complicated protocol requiring dozens of expensive products or hours of your precious time. It's one simple substance, applied with intention, as part of a peaceful bedtime ritual that takes just minutes. Modern science is finally catching up to what traditional healers have known for millennia. Research studies are beginning to document the impressive array of compounds in this oil, from ricinoleic acid with its unique molecular structure to powerful antioxidants that fight the cellular damage responsible for premature aging. The evidence is mounting, supporting what generations before us understood through careful observation and traditional use. I know you're curious about what this mysterious oil might be, and I promise to reveal everything about it shortly. But first, I want to make you a promise. Stay with me until the end of our time together, and I'll share something unexpected. A seventh benefit of this oil that few people talk about, but that might be the most life-changing of all. This alone could be worth many times more than the modest investment of your time today. So, are you ready to rediscover what generations before us knew? Are you prepared to embrace a simple ritual that could become your body's new best friend? Then, let's begin this journey together, back to the wisdom of the past that holds the key to feeling better in the present. Let's start our journey, where our body meets the world, our skin. Your skin is not just a passive covering, it's your largest organ, constantly absorbing, protecting, and communicating. When it's healthy, you radiate a natural glow that no amount of makeup can replicate. When it's compromised, no expensive cream can truly hide the dullness, dryness, or premature lines that signal your skin is crying out for real nourishment. The ancient oil I'm sharing with you today is castor oil, a thick golden substance extracted from the seeds of the Ricinus communis plant. What makes castor oil truly exceptional for skin care is its unique composition. Unlike other oils that sit on the surface, castor oil has a remarkable ability to penetrate deeply into the skin's layers, carrying its precious cargo of antioxidants, vitamins, and that special compound I mentioned earlier, ricinoleic acid, which makes up nearly 90% of its fatty acid content. Maria, a 74-year-old grandmother living in a small coastal town in California, discovered the power of this oil through her grandmother, who had emigrated from Mexico in the early 1900s. My abuela would sit me down every evening and massage a few drops of warm castor oil into my face, Maria remembers. She called it liquid gold, and promised it would keep my skin supple even when I became an old woman like her. I thought it was just one of her old country beliefs until I started getting compliments in my 60s about how youthful my skin looked compared to my friends. Maria's grandmother was tapping into a tradition that stretched back generations in Latin American communities, where castor oil was revered not just as a beauty aid, but as a direct connection to ancestral wisdom. And now, modern dermatological research is beginning to understand why this practice endured. When castor oil meets your skin, it begins a remarkable process. The ricinoleic acid triggers the production of elastin and collagen, those precious proteins responsible for keeping your skin firm and resilient. Meanwhile, the oil's natural antioxidants begin neutralizing the free radicals that accelerate aging by damaging your skin cells day after day. As this happens, the oil's unique molecular structure allows it to draw moisture deeply into the skin, while simultaneously forming a protective barrier that locks that hydration in. Let me walk you through how to incorporate this into your nightly ritual. As the day winds down and you prepare for sleep, take a moment for yourself. Pour a small amount of castor oil, about the size of a dime, into your palm and warm it by rubbing your hands together. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, allowing the day's tensions to begin melting away. Then, with deliberate touch, massage the oil into your face and neck using gentle upward circular motions. Feel your fingertips gliding along your skin, noticing the texture changing beneath your touch. Experience the warmth radiating through layers of tissue that may have felt tight or dry just moments before. As you continue these circular motions, imagine the oil carrying nutrients to cells that have been thirsting for real nourishment. There's no need to rinse. Allow the oil to work its magic overnight while you sleep, when your skin's natural renewal processes are already at their peak. I encourage you to take a photo before you begin this practice and another after 30 days. The changes may be subtle at first, a certain softness around the eyes perhaps, or a more even tone across your cheeks. But as the weeks pass, you might notice what Jennifer, a 44-year-old teacher from Denver, described to me. The fine lines around my mouth that had been deepening every year started to soften. My skin didn't just look better. It felt different, more resilient. I found myself using less and less makeup because I actually wanted to see my natural skin again. This renewal isn't just about aesthetics. When your skin barrier functions optimally, you're less susceptible to environmental aggressors, less likely to experience inflammatory conditions, and more able to maintain balanced hydration regardless of the season. This is wellness that radiates from within, the kind that doesn't wash off at the end of the day. What fascinates me most about castor oil's effect on skin is how it seems to adapt to what different people need. For those with drier skin, it provides deep, lasting hydration. For those prone to oiliness, it can actually help regulate sebum production after consistent use. And for the sensitive-skinned among us, its anti-inflammatory properties can calm reactivity that no amount of specialized sensitive skin products seem able to address. But perhaps the most beautiful effect is one you'll feel rather than see. There's something profoundly nurturing about the act of anointing yourself with an oil that generations before you have used. Something centering about taking these few moments each night to tend to your body with mindful touch. In our rushed, modern world, these small islands of self-care can become powerful rituals that reconnect us not just with our physical selves, but with a lineage of wisdom that stretches back through time. As the castor oil transforms your skin, bringing forth a more radiant version of you, it prepares the stage for our next area of healing, the crowning glory that frames the face we present to the world. Let's discover how this same ancient oil can restore vitality to your hair, lashes, and brows, the features that so expressively communicate who you are. There's a particular kind of heartbreak that comes with watching your hair lose its vitality. Perhaps you've experienced it yourself, that moment when you notice more strands catching in your brush or circling the shower drain. Or maybe you've observed with dismay as your once thick eyebrows grew sparse, or your eyelashes became less defined, taking with them a certain brightness from your expression. This gradual loss can feel deeply personal, as if time is slowly erasing parts of your identity. David, a 52-year-old accountant from Chicago, described it to me this way. Every morning, I'd see more of my scalp through my hair, and it wasn't just about vanity. It felt like I was watching myself disappear bit by bit. I tried not to let it affect my confidence, but there was this constant awareness that something that had always been part of me was fading away. What David and millions of others experience isn't just a cosmetic concern. It's an emotional journey, one that can affect how we see ourselves and how confidently we move through the world. This is where castor oil enters the story again, offering its regenerative properties to another area of the body in need of nourishment and renewal. The secret to castor oil's effectiveness for hair restoration lies in its exceptional ability to increase circulation to the scalp and follicles. When you massage castor oil into your scalp, you're delivering a potent dose of ricinoleic acid directly to the hair roots. This special compound has been shown to balance the scalp's pH and stimulate blood flow to follicles that may have become dormant or undernourished. At the same time, the oil's natural antifungal and antibacterial properties help create an optimal environment for healthy hair growth by addressing common scalp issues that can impede growth. In traditional communities across the Caribbean and parts of South America, women would gather on Sunday afternoons to apply castor oil to each other's hair while sharing stories and wisdom. This wasn't just about beauty. It was about connection and passing down practical knowledge that had sustained generations. They knew what science now confirms, that the omega-9 fatty acids in castor oil can penetrate the hair shaft and protect against brittleness and breakage, while simultaneously stimulating the follicles to produce stronger, more resilient growth. Here's how to incorporate this practice into your life. In the evening, when the day's activities are winding down, warm about 2 tablespoons of castor oil between your palms. If you find the oil too thick or sticky, you can blend it with an equal part of coconut oil, which adds its own nourishing properties to the mixture. Now, section your hair and apply the oil directly to your scalp, not just the hair strands. Use your fingertips, not your nails, to massage in small circular motions, starting at the front of your scalp and working toward the back. As you do this, close your eyes and feel the gentle pressure awakening the skin beneath your hair. Imagine increased blood flow rushing to each follicle, carrying oxygen and nutrients that may have been lacking. Take this time to connect with your body, to thank it for all it does for you each day. This isn't just a beauty treatment. It's a moment of mindfulness in which you reclaim the ancient wisdom of self-care. For best results, leave the oil on overnight. You might want to protect your pillowcase with a soft towel or wear a shower cap. In the morning, wash your hair as usual, though you may find you need to shampoo twice to remove all the oil. Lauren, a 38-year-old web designer from Austin, began this practice after significant hair loss following the birth of her second child. "I was desperate," she told me. "My hair had always been thick, and suddenly I could see my scalp in photographs. After 3 months of consistent weekly oil treatments, not only did the shedding slow dramatically, but I started seeing new growth. These little baby hairs around my hairline that eventually grew in just as thick as my original hair." The transformation doesn't happen overnight. Like all natural approaches, this is about consistent care rather than instant results. But many people report noticing less shedding within just a few weeks, with new growth becoming visible around the 3-month mark. By 6 months, the difference can be remarkable, not just in the amount of hair but in its quality, with many reporting increased shine, improved texture, and greater resilience. But let's not forget your other expressive features. Your eyelashes and eyebrows, which frame your eyes and add dimension to your expressions. The same oil that nourishes your scalp can transform these delicate hairs as well. For these areas, the application is slightly different. Dip a clean cotton swab in castor oil and carefully apply it to your eyebrows and along the base of your upper and lower lash lines, taking care not to get the oil in your eyes. Michael, a 45-year-old photographer from Seattle, was skeptical but desperate after years of thinning eyebrows. "Photography is my passion and my profession, and I'm constantly aware of facial features and how they balance a person's appearance. When my own eyebrows started thinning, it bothered me every time I looked in the mirror. After about 2 months of applying castor oil every night, I noticed my brows were filling in areas that had been bare for years. It sounds like a small thing, but it made a huge difference in how I felt about my appearance." What makes this approach so powerful is its simplicity. No complicated products with lengthy ingredient lists, no expensive salon treatments, just one pure oil used consistently, with an application method that has stood the test of time across cultures and generations. This is about reclaiming traditional wisdom and allowing your body the time and nourishment it needs to reveal its natural vitality. As your hair, lashes, and brows begin to respond to this nourishing treatment, you may notice something else changing too: a sense of improved circulation throughout your body. This leads us perfectly into our next area of healing, where castor oil's benefits extend far beyond the cosmetic to address how vital energy and blood flow through your entire system. Have you ever experienced that uncomfortable sensation of cold hands even in a warm room? Or perhaps you've noticed the occasional tingling or numbness in your fingers or toes. Maybe you've observed swelling in your ankles after a long day, or that certain areas of your body seem perpetually cooler than others. If any of these experiences sound familiar, you're not alone. Millions of Americans struggle with less than optimal circulation, often without realizing that these symptoms are their body's way of signaling a need for improved blood flow. Your circulatory system is an incredible network, a river of life flowing through nearly 100,000 miles of vessels throughout your body. When this system functions optimally, oxygen-rich blood reaches every cell, bringing vital nutrients and carrying away waste products efficiently. When circulation becomes compromised, even slightly, tissues throughout your body can begin to suffer from this reduced nourishment. The effects might start subtly but can become more pronounced over time. This is where our ancient remedy continues its remarkable work. Castor oil has been used for centuries specifically to enhance circulation, a practice particularly common in the highlands of Peru and Bolivia, where indigenous healers understood the importance of maintaining strong blood flow in high altitude, environments where oxygen is naturally more scarce. My grandmother would massage castor oil into my grandfather's hands every night, recalls Thomas, whose family emigrated from Peru to Minnesota when he was a child. I remember watching this ritual and thinking it was just an old couple's quirky habit. But years later, when my own hands started to feel cold and stiff, especially during Minnesota winters, my grandmother shared her secret. She explained that the oil doesn't just sit on the surface, it actually helps the blood vessels relax and open up, allowing blood to flow more freely to areas that need it most. What Thomas's grandmother understood intuitively, modern science, has begun to validate. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil appears to affect prostaglandin receptors, which play an important role in vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels that allows for increased blood flow. When applied topically and massaged into the skin, this compound can help relax the walls of blood vessels, potentially improving circulation to the area where it's applied. The beauty of this approach lies in its dual action. The oil itself contains compounds that may biochemically influence circulation, while the active massage mechanically helps move blood and lymph through tissues that might otherwise be stagnant. Together, these actions create a powerful intervention for areas with diminished blood flow. Here's how to incorporate this practice into your nightly ritual. After your evening shower or bath, when your blood vessels are already naturally dilated, from the warmth, pour a small amount of castor oil into your palm. Begin by massaging it into any areas where you notice poor circulation, often the hands, feet, or lower legs. Use firm but gentle pressure, always moving your strokes toward your heart, which is the natural direction of venous return. As you massage, bring your full attention to the sensation beneath your fingertips. Notice the temperature of your skin, the texture, the response to your touch. You might feel a gentle warming as blood flow increases to the area. Some people even report a slight tingling sensation as tissues that have been receiving less than optimal circulation suddenly experience an influx of nutrient-rich blood. For an enhanced effect, Amanda, a massage therapist from Portland, suggests this variation. After applying castor oil to areas with poor circulation, wrap the area in a warm, damp towel. The heat helps the oil penetrate more deeply while also contributing to vasodilation. Just 10 to 15 minutes with this warm compress can make a noticeable difference in how your extremities feel, especially if you make it a regular practice. This ritual isn't just therapeutic. It can become a deeply nurturing moment in your day, a time when you consciously reconnect with your physical body, acknowledge its needs, and respond with care rather than pushing through discomfort as we're often conditioned to do. In our achievement-oriented culture, we frequently override our body signals until they become too loud to ignore. This practice invites a different relationship, one of listening and responding with nurturing attention. Catherine, a 61-year-old retired teacher from Virginia, incorporated this castor oil circulation ritual after noticing increasingly cold feet, even during summer months. I was concerned because my mother had struggled with circulation problems that eventually led to more serious complications. After about 3 weeks of nightly castor oil massages, I noticed I was no longer reaching for extra socks in the evening. My husband even commented that my feet weren't ice blocks in bed anymore. But what surprised me most was how this simple practice became a way for me to check in with my body each night, to notice what might need attention before small issues become bigger problems. What makes this approach so different from conventional treatments for poor circulation is its holistic nature. Rather than targeting a single symptom or mechanism, castor oil addresses multiple aspects of circulatory health simultaneously. The ricinoleic acid may help relax blood vessels. The natural anti-inflammatory compounds can reduce swelling that might be impeding blood flow. The active massage itself mechanically assists the movement of blood and lymph. And the mindful attention to your body creates a feedback loop where you become more attuned to subtle changes in how your tissues feel and function. As with all natural approaches, consistency matters more than intensity. A gentle 5-minute massage with castor oil each evening will likely yield better results than an occasional longer session. This isn't about dramatic intervention, but about creating a new baseline of care that supports your circulatory system, day after day, allowing gradual but meaningful improvement over time. As your circulation improves, you may notice surprising benefits beyond simply warmer hands and feet. Many people report improved energy levels as tissues throughout their body receive better oxygen supply. Others notice more vibrant skin tone as microcirculation to the skin's surface enhances. And some, like our next topic will explore, find that improved circulation brings an unexpected benefit to their joints, helping to ease discomfort that may have become an unwelcome companion in their daily lives.